And we are live. Welcome, everybody. It is the Benchwarmer podcast and being brought to you right here at Castnet Studios, downtown Biloxi on Howard Avenue. So I'd like to welcome in the Vancleave High School powerlifting team.
Welcome, everybody.
And so somebody can turn the... That's my phone, isn't it? Yeah, how about that? Yeah, I'm an idiot. It's okay. So, guys, what's going on? How is everybody?
Doing good.
Good?
Actually really good.
All right. I'm still working on all of this stuff, trying to get, there we go. Now I can kind of see what's going on. So, we're going to chat a little bit about what you guys have done for Vancleave High School and the powerlifting team. But first, I want to explain what we got going on here. There is a few, one thing that I want people to know is, yeah, on this podcast, we're going to cover national sports. I mean, we'll talk about Manny Machado getting his 10-year, $300 million stupid, ridiculous contract. But what I want to do is I want to gear towards youth sports, high school sports, middle school sports, varsity, junior varsity, community college, Gulf Coast Community College. So I want to gear towards that. So you guys are actually going to be the guinea pigs in the first group of high school students that we've had on the show. So I want to say thank you to that. But before we get going into that, I want to talk a little bit about the high school basketball games going on tonight. Of course, the basketball tournaments have started for the state championship. And being a Biloxi High graduate, I'm very excited about where it's gone. And congratulations to the Biloxi boys and girls for winning their region. But tonight there's a ton of games going on tonight on the boys' side of it. The Biloxi boys, they have a bye tonight. They'll play either the winner of Terry and Petal, which is happening tonight. The Pascagoula boys also have a bye, but tonight you got Gulfport versus Ocean Springs, St. Martin versus Harrison Central. I believe tip-off is at 7 o'clock for that. Long Beach has a bye. They'll play on Saturday, the winner of Brookhaven and West Jones. Stone County, North Pike tonight, Picayune, West Harrison. Pass Christian and Lawrence County, Bay High and Poplarville, St. Stanislaus and Greene County, and Moss Point and Forest County Agricultural High School are all going to be playing tonight. And then if you go to the girls' side, the girls all played yesterday. There's one game tonight. Biloxi had a bye, but they'll face Brandon on Friday night. St. Martin and Terry Friday night. Pearl versus Harrison Central. Harrison Central beat D'Iberville last night to move on to face Pearl. Meridian versus Hancock, Stone County versus Wayne County, Picayune versus West Jones. That's actually Picayune beat Long Beach to get into that spot. Brookhaven versus West Harrison, Moss Point versus Raymond, Pass Christian versus South Pike or Northeast Lauderdale, whoever wins tonight. And then Lanier and East Central will play on Friday night. So if you didn't catch it, that is a bunch of South Mississippi basketball teams representing high school sports for the state of Mississippi. So congratulations to all of them. Whether they win or lose, making it that far and making it into that tournament for high school sports or for high school basketball is a pretty big deal. Another thing I want to cover is, believe it or not, D'Iberville won the Class 3 state championship for bowling. So congratulations to D'Iberville. If you missed it early on in the month, the Ocean Springs girls soccer team won the state championship, and the Gulfport boys won their second straight state championship in soccer and their third one since 2010. Speaking of state championships, let's move on to Vancleave. So last year they were back-to-back volleyball champions. The baseball team won their first state championship. The girls' soccer team went into the state tournament this year and did a really good job. What were y'all telling me? They lost South State is what they lost South State. So I played soccer in high school. Just to get to South State is a pretty challenging thing. And it was pretty challenging, and not when I'm old enough, there wasn't that many teams that had soccer yet in high school. So to get to it now, that's a whole nother story. So we've got the Vancleave powerlifting team, and I had all these notes because I screwed everything up to start with. So we've got Zach, and people can see you on Facebook, so just raise your hand. Zach, we got Corey, we've got Caleb, and we got Kelsey, and we got Coach Alfred, which nobody can see. He's over there in the corner. There's his hand. We'll chat with him as well. So guys, tell me, when it comes to powerlifting, we were talking off the air. You had 140 at regionals. And you guys all finished first place in your respective categories and weight classes, right?
Yes, sir.
So when you finish first place, is that per event, or is that all your events in one?
All together.
All together. Okay, so Zach, I'm going to start with you. Tell me what weight class. Tell me, I don't honestly know what three. Is it just 3 events that you guys? It's bench,
Squat, bench, and deadlift.
Okay, all right. So I can understand all that. So if somebody explain for somebody who's probably may not know, may know, who knows. So bench press. Tell them what a bench press consists of.
The bench press, you'll start out. They'll get your weight on there that you want. You will give them. They'll either help you out of the rack with it, or you can lift it yourself. They'll give you a bench command. You take the bar, you come down to your chest, and you balance it on your chest. And once the bar stops moving, they'll give you a press command. Then you have to press it all the way out, even lock out all the way to the top. Then you hold it until they say rack. You move it back into the rack.
So for those of you that don't know, and we were taught, this is another thing, we were having nice long conversations off the air. When I was in high school and I was bench pressing and I was trying to lift a lot of weight, and I'm not going to mention the weights or anything like that. I'm not going to embarrass myself with you guys in the room. But we were able to bounce it off of our chest. Now, with the way you're describing that, taking that weight and letting it sit actually on the chest before you can start to press it back up, that's a whole different. I mean, that's a whole nother game in itself when it comes to bench pressing. All right, so Corey, what's next? The next one's squat. Tell them about squats.
Your squat, they'll put your weight on. You go up to the rack, you get help off, or you can get it yourself. Then you tell them when you're set and ready, you nod your head. After you nod your head, they'll tell you to squat. You can come up on yourself, or you get a coach to call you up on your parallel or break parallel. Then after you come up, you've got to stay steady. You can't move your feet. You just got to sit there until they tell you to rack it. After you rack it, it's over.
Okay, so we'll go over what everybody's lifting when we get to that point. So deadlift. One of you guys, whoever wants to describe what the deadlift is.
Yeah, you're
the deadlift master. Okay.
Okay, so with deadlift, it's the simplest lift. It's the last lift in the event. So basically, they put your weight on, and you walk up to the bar, and then all you do is lift it. They tell you to put it down. You put it down, and that's it.
All right. So, is it when you lift it? Do you have to have it to a certain point? Like when you watch some competitions, they actually have to roll that shoulder back
You have
to that point.
You have to be locked out.
Okay. All right. So, have y'all seen the video of the young kid with the cerebral palsy doing the deadlift and getting? Everybody was throwing a fit about that because they were so excited about that video, and I love that video. But there was another video of him doing that before that I guess didn't get enough attention when it was actually in a competition. So sports is one of those that that'll give you a tearjerker, seeing somebody and you guys knowing what it takes to be able to do something like that. That's if you haven't seen it, definitely look it up on Facebook, that video. So let's go back to Zach. Zach, tell me on your 3 lifts, what did you lift?
When I squat, I lifted 565. I got to bench, I pause press 295. And when I was deadlifting, I deadlifted 500 for a total of 1360.
Total of 1360. So what is, and you won first place.
Yes, sir.
So what is the, I don't know, state record, or what is a goal for you in combined weight? What is your goal that you would like to get to?
This next meet, I'd like to break 14. I feel like it shouldn't be a problem with the month we've had between meets and working out and getting stronger. But I'd really like to hit like a 300 pause press would be the goal that I want for this next meet.
I'm hurting just thinking of that. Wow. All right, Corey, what was your combined weight?
960 pounds.
And how much do you weigh?
131 at the meet.
So 131, and you lifted how much?
960 total.
Jesus. That's awesome. All right, Caleb.
I had a 1465 total.
Okay.
I'm in the 275 weight class. I ended up last year I broke a state record or South State record of 660 pound squat, and this year I actually went to the region, only topping out at 670 on squat, and I ended up with 690 at the region as my last squat, and pause press 280, and deadlift I was already in the lead by about 150, 160 pounds. So I only deadlifted 500.
Only?
I mean,
only.
I had to pick up something to qualify.
Hey, whatever. I just had to pick up something.
Yeah.
I mean,
Just throw some weight on there.
Yeah. So right now, at the moment, I'm going into South State, hoping to re-break my South State record as long as I stay healthy and going to state, breaking the state record, which is 705.
and you've still got a couple weeks before that. What do we say, March 9th? March 9th is the South State. So you got South State, and then please tell me there's like a month
There's
between.
a month and a half.
It's like April something.
13 to 14.
Okay,
You got about
okay.
a month and a half.
Whew. All right, Kelsey, you're up.
Okay, so I had a total of 1305. I squatted 5. I benched 245. I left a little bit on the table there. I probably could have hit 265. I did in the field house once. But then I pulled 560 to get first on deadlift.
So you
181.
you said you did 560.
Yes, 560 deadlift.
Wow. All right. So take us through a typical week of preparing yourselves for a meet. So there's no way you guys lift every single day, right?
No.
You got to have some rest, right? Okay. So take us through a typical week of what it takes to get meet ready.
Usually the week of the meet, we'll go down Monday and Tuesday to the field house, and we'll work out. We'll do lightweight, just some reps, really just staying in form for the meet. And then, like me, I usually have to diet a little bit to make sure I'm in my weight class. So that's usually what I focus on for that week. Is I'll come in, I'll do some lightweight, just do some reps and stuff, and then I'll just make sure I'm eating right and staying in my weight class. And then Saturdays in the meets, it's tough. You don't eat but very light that Friday before, and then Saturday you starving yourself for that weigh-in just to make sure you're good, and then afterwards it's chaos at that table.
Yeah, the hardest part about powerlifting is getting in the weight class. To be completely honest with you.
We actually watched a kid cry.
Yeah, a kid didn't get into his weight class.
And there's too many people in the next weight class to move up.
Oh wow. I mean, I can understand. I can understand that. I mean, that sucks. That's even worse. So, wow. All right. So, any other things of going through the work week?
Really, the preparation for powerlifting happens before the last week. You're hitting everything really, really hard. You're trying to get more explosion in all your lifts, like in squat. We'll hold the first half of the sets. So if we have like 10 reps at squat at 50%, then we'll hold the first 5. Once you get parallel, you hold it for 1,001, 1,002, and you'll explode out of it. And so that's the extra work that you have to do, because just regular football, you just squat and you just get right out of it. But powerlifting, you gotta build that explosion. You got to get a cut above everybody else.
What else?
Don't eat.
Don't eat.
Oh, actually,
Don't eat.
I had something.
You weigh a $131. You can't eat much anyways, can you?
It's harder to
No,
lose
it's-
weight.
I don't know. It's different for them. And actually, if you're someone like, I mean, I have 8 pounds until I'm into the next weight class.
Uh-huh.
So the week before the meet is actually a carb overload for me. Like I'm trying to get as much energy and as possible. That especially at Friday night, like I usually probably eat a bunch of spaghetti, pasta, something like that, so I can get a lot of energy for the next day. And then hopefully try to. I mean, I went from about 268 to 271 eating that, going from that night to the morning, just eating. So.
You see, and Bicknell's a special case because I can't do that. If I try to have that carb overload, I'm gonna be 5 pounds over, and I'm gonna be screwed.
I think the most important thing that you can do the night before the meet and just that entire week is to get rest. The best steroid is sleep, and if you do not rest, then you will not perform well. Just sleeping is essential.
So let's go to a day at the meet. So you get there in the morning. Do you weigh in that day or that morning? Okay, so you've made weight. Then you have to wait. So Kevin sitting over here and we deal with MMA fighters. They make weight, they get to eat and put the weight back on or put something back on. Do you guys get to eat soon as the weigh-in's done?
Yes, we
Okay.
do. A lot.
I'm sure. And do you hydrate?
Yes.
Okay. So take me through the meet, the day of a meet, what exactly you do.
They do same day weigh-ins. We wake up, go to the field house, we just mess around, and the coach tells us to stop. And we get on the bus, load the bus up, we go to the meet, mess around till coach tells us to stop. We get there, we set everything up, and we wait for them to tell us they're ready for us to go weigh in. We go weigh in and make fun of the fat boys when they're weighing in. And we go back out after everybody's done weighing in. Surprise, some of us made weight. We eat too much than we should supposed to. We eat a lot. Then we just mess around until we start having to lift.
And that's when it gets serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody just puts some music on, stays quiet.
Put your headphones in, put your earbuds in, headphones on, and just focus, huh? So, do you guys have rivalries? I mean, does the powerlifting team have rivalries?
It's a rivalry for everything.
East Central's a rivalry for everything. Okay. So do you have individual rivalries? I mean,
In our weight class?
yeah. So, all right.
He had the biggest one this year.
Okay, so
So tell that story.
okay, so East Central, they have a running back. Well, he was in the 198s last year, but during the season he had some complications and he lost a lot of weight, and so he was in my weight class and he was second in his weight class at state last year. So, I was looking at his numbers before the meet and I was like, I gotta show up. I gotta be ready to play. So, we're lifting and everything. We don't say anything at the meet to each other. We give little glances or whatever. You can feel the tension. But it really didn't happen until after the meet. And so the build-up, the rivalry is starting now. Because after the meet, I posted on Instagram, took the horns from the bull, because that's what they call him bull. And so, he got all him.
Now I understand what Corey was saying earlier.
Yeah,
I got it now. I got it.
So all his little buddies, they came in my my Instagram comments, put 90 comments on it, calling me out saying, they're gonna beat me the next time. So I think they did that to get in my head and scare me, but it just motivates me more. So that's the rivalry that we have now. So there's gonna be even more tension, and when the pressure's on, I come to play. So
if anybody wants to see the rivalry happen, March 9th, South Pike
Yes.
is where this competition, the South State competition, is going to be at. It might be worth traveling just to go see all of this shake out the way it does. Caleb, what about you? You got anybody that you go? So I'll give you a perfect example. I threw discus in high school, and I can't remember the guy's name, but he was the discus thrower for Gulfport. We were always neck and neck, and we were at South State, and he threw whatever it was, and I had never thrown that before. And I was like, well, crap, I'm done. So I went in and I threw it. I beat him and knocked him out of the state tournament, and I was able to go. So I know what those individual rivalries are like. So do you have anything like that with anybody?
I do. At the moment, last year it was.
This is your opportunity to talk crap on Facebook.
I actually did last year. Definitely, I got a new rivalry this year, but last year it was a kid from East Central. But you
ran him out of town.
He ended up moving down a weight class.
He got scared.
Yeah, he didn't make it to South State because of me. So But I had a new one. He the only returning.
Coach, if I push this too far, tell me to stop. So, because I'm all about it.
He's the only returning 11th grader from last year coming with me, and all the rest of the 275s all new. And then he's from South Pike, which is actually the team that got first place overall at
Gotcha.
the region meet. So he was definitely there. I mean, I still had beat him by 105 pounds, but I didn't want him to get anywhere close because he had beat me in South State.
So you beat him by a Corey.
Yeah, by a Corey.
You beat him by a Corey.
Well, last year he had beat me in South State. He got second place and almost pushed me out of going to state. And so I had to come back and let him know I'm definitely a lot stronger.
I mean, so those guys push you. I mean, and you have to use that sometimes. It's sometimes when, I guess, I don't want to get anybody's heads big here or anything like that, but sometimes when you're at the top of your class and you don't have anybody to push you, that's when you don't perform at your best. And I think you've got to have that individual or that team that pushes you to get to that point to keep you aggressive.
Well, I know you say individual. There's also a team aspect to that. I mean,
right?
I want to push to get first, get as many team points as I can.
Absolutely.
So everybody, and hopefully everybody else does the same, so we can win as a team. Because that's also really huge. If you can all come in individually and win as a team, especially going to someone else's gym to take it from them. So
that's what I'm talking about. Corey, you have anybody?
Dion Boyd from Allsport.
He called his name.
He's
been there with you forever.
Yeah, he's been there the past 3 years, and I've pushed him out the past 3 years. And last year, 2 years ago, I pushed him out to regionals. He didn't go to South State. And last year, I moved up a weight class, and he stayed. We were cool, and we went all the way to state, and we talked, and he got cocky at regionals this year. He was acting like he didn't know me. Wasn't talking. Wasn't doing nothing.
Maybe he was in his mode. I mean, he was in game time, man.
I mean, we were at their house.
He's gotten so much bigger. He thought he was getting stronger, but he was still too little.
Nice.
Still too little.
Zach?
See, my rivalry is actually a funny story because he's a member of our team. He plays second in my weight class. Connor Howard.
Gotcha.
And
okay.
He in the weight room we'll be working out and stuff, and if I'm struggling on a lift and I look over and he's just blowing it out the water, I'm like, okay. So now I got to step up my game and get stronger and do better. And he always tries to get one up on me when we go prepare for meets and we declare our weights. I'll declare an opener, he'll declare 5 pounds above me. And so we'll just go back and forth, seeing who's really going to be the one to step up and take first place. And it was me this year, and I'm hoping that I can do that again at South State. And we go 1 and 2. That's a bunch of team points for us.
No, I was going to say, hey, if you go 1 and 2, you better be the one in 1, or you're going to be pissed, right? I mean, you're going to be upset. So okay.
Well, y'all had a geography.
So you can finish 1 and 2 as long as you're not 2.
Yeah. And last year,
I got you.
There was a guy that I was worried about having to fight this year because he was pause pressing like 325 or something, squatting up in the high 6s, and his deadlift, I don't remember what it was, but he was beating me. And we got to the meet this year, and he stepped up to the platform, and I looked, and he was in a weight class above me. And so all that entire year of wanting to beat him, it just vanished, and I had no pressure on me. I just had to go up there and be me, and it worked out for me.
That's how it was this year. Dude from South Pike, he named Kadarius Jackson. He knocked me out of state last year. He pushed me He pushed me all year last year. Pushed me to third, and his friend comes up at South State. And almost knocked me out with it. And I pulled 420 to stay in to go to state last year. And that dude, I saw he moved up a weight class in region this year, and it was so easy. They were all so weak.
You are so confident.
They were. The dude under me's total was 100 pounds less, nearly 100.
Man. All
So
right.
basically, what you're saying is that you're going to win state.
Yeah, easy work.
Ring season.
So you guys, so the team is more than you guys, and let's explain this real quick. You guys are the 4 that finished first place in regionals. How many people or how many teammates are going to South State outside of you 4?
3 others.
3 others.
7.
So 7 total. So what? And Coach, you might be able to answer this a little better. What is an average, or what is, if a team's going to represent real well and have a good chance at a team championship, how many do need to go?
We can do it this year.
Come on over, Coach.
Well, it really depends on where they're placing those members that are going. With us having 7 and 4 being in first place, and our other guys pulling, 2s. 7 you have a chance. 9 you have a really good chance.
Right.
Of course, 12. I mean, you have a really, really good chance. But I'd say you'd need 7.
So, I mean, are there any schools really pulling 12 kids?
I'm not real sure what South Pike got out, but I think they got 9 kids out.
Okay.
I'm not sure about the other numbers, but that's who we were watching because that's who we wanted to with them. And if a few things were worked out in our favor on that day, we would have scored more points than South Pike.
I got you.
They just didn't that day.
So I'm glad you came over, Coach. There was something I was going to ask. So when Coach isn't around and parents aren't around, how do you guys keep yourselves motivated to do what you're supposed to do to stay ready during the season?
You just got to know, like, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, it's not going to benefit you.
Yeah.
It's not going to work out in your favor.
So self-discipline is basically what you're saying? You got some self-discipline? Dad, does he have some self-discipline? So Coach, tell me a little bit about, we were talking about the growth of sports in high school. To give everybody a little insight on my age. So I graduated from Biloxi High in 1992. So you guys weren't even born, I know. I got kids older than you, okay? So at that time, it was really just the major sports. You had football, baseball, soccer, track, football, baseball, soccer, track, basketball, softball. But I mean, even at that point, to be honest with you, I couldn't tell you if we had a softball team or not at Biloxi High. We probably did, and I was probably just, I'm sure we did. I've probably got a couple people that are about to get really mad at me for saying that, but I know we did. So, but now if you go into high school sports, we've got swimming, which Biloxi High, by the way, is a really good swim team. Just saying. You've got archery, powerlifting. So
Boys and girls
powerlifting. And I would be amiss if I didn't mention my buddy Kyle Mickelson and his Moss Point girls going for their 4th state championship this year in powerlifting. So congratulations to the girls at Moss Point as well. Somebody said my boy Caleb squats 690 pounds. So, but we're archery, cross country, and then you were talking that some schools are adding chess.
It came on one of the radio stations the other day that they were looking to do in pilot programs for chess to get kids more opportunities to get out there and get scholarships to go to college.
You know how to play chess?
I actually do know how to play chess.
Okay. Do you know how to play chess? You know how to play chess?
I know how to play 2 pieces.
Do you know how to play chess?
I can play a heck of a checkers game.
Okay,
Yes.
so I would suggest everybody, if they're going to do this as a pilot program, everybody go learn how to play chess. Because if it's another way to go to college, you better take advantage of that. And then what was the other one we were talking? Oh, video games. So, can people really get scholarships for playing video games right now?
Yes.
Wow. I mean, honestly, we talked about it. I haven't owned a video game console since the original PlayStation, so I couldn't play it. I couldn't play a damn game if I wanted to. I really couldn't. I literally went out one time and with one of the kids in the house. He had the PlayStation 4 or 3 or whatever it was at the time, but it was able to play all the consoles underneath it, all the PlayStation, PlayStation 2, and stuff like that. So I went to GameStop and I bought every freaking used game of Madden. I mean, every single one of them I could buy. Never once did I put one of those into that console and play it. I could probably say I've played Madden before, but it was early on. But I probably would say Tecmo Bowl was probably my favorite. And playing with the Raiders and playing Bo Jackson, you couldn't stop him in Tecmo Bowl. Y'all have no idea what I'm talking about.
I
Do you?
know.
Me and my brother, my brother and I had some battles on Tecmo Ball.
Yes.
So it was a fun game. Also, and I don't know if you've heard about this, and Mr. Oster mentioned this too just a second ago. We have high school fishing now.
Yes, as a matter of fact, my buddy, who I do the other podcast with, The Sound, he has one called Brownwater Banter, and he was actually doing the weigh-ins live from the Bass Tactics weigh-in that they had in D'Iberville. And, of course, I work at Academy Sports, so we saw a lot of the kids coming in their nice fishing team uniforms and all of that, and I didn't know, but my daughter's half-brother, he's on the Stone County bass fishing team. So I think it's great, but I asked that question. I was like, all right, so they got bass fishing team, why don't they have offshore fishing teams?
Right.
And I was told quickly it's because the expense to get offshore and do all that, it's a lot easier to do the inshore bass fishing. You fish? Anybody? Anybody fish?
Yeah.
All right. Anybody plan on doing the fishing team?
No.
No?
If I had time.
So, but you guys play football. What other sports do you do?
Football, powerlifting, that's about it. Ran track, 8th grade.
Ran track, okay. All right.
That's the same way. I'm football and track. Not football and powerlifting. I said track.
So, Kelsey, what do you play in football?
Outside linebacker and defensive end.
Okay. Caleb, what do you play?
Offensive line.
Okay. Corey?
I do powerlifting and track.
And track?
Football, strong safety.
Strong safety. And Zach?
Football, powerlifting, and I played center and defensive tackle.
So what grade are you guys in? I didn't even ask any of that. So what class are you guys in?
We're all seniors.
All seniors. So the last hurrah, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So everybody hoping to go out with a bang.
Yes.
That's one of your biggest motivations right now.
Just get out on top, huh?
We're all getting rings this year.
There you go.
Ring season.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what you call it, huh? Is ring season?
Ring season.
So, any future plans college-wise?
I actually have a visit on Friday to Tahoma Community College.
Nice.
Southwest. I
Southwest.
actually went up there last Friday and spoke with them. I'm not a full ride yet, but hoping.
Awesome.
I have to wait for my ACT scores back, but I have a few talking to me.
Cool.
I've got a 52% from Culver Stockton in Canton, Missouri, and then I got an opportunity to walk on at Mississippi College in Clinton.
Mississippi College, the Harvard of the South. No, that's Millsaps. Millsaps is the Harvard of the South. But no, that's awesome. Congrats to all of you. Regardless of whether you go to college playing a sport or if you just go to college, congratulations in making that first step is getting out of high school. So, Coach, tell me what you think of of your group of guys here?
I think we have a great group of guys. These guys have been with me for a couple of years. I think Corey's done it for the last 4 years. 3 years, four. Kelsey's been with me for a while. Zach's done it the last 2 years. Zach, 3 years, and Caleb, this is only his second year. But I think once they get into it, they enjoy a lot of it. We have a lot of support from administration and from other coaches with our kids. Like I said, they do get into it, and it makes it easy when they love it. You're not pulling hairs trying to get them to get out there and things like that.
So if somebody wanted to keep tabs on the powerlifting team, how would they be able to do that through Vancleave High School's Facebook page?
What's that?
Quarterback Club.
Quarterback Club,
most of our
okay.
stuff is kind of funneled through the Quarterback Club. They post videos and results, and a lot of times on the state website they'll have the finals or the results of the powerlifting meets posted maybe a week or two later that they can look up.
I got you. Okay. So here's what I have to say to you guys. First of all, thank you for coming in. I hope you guys win it all. And a little extra motivation, if you win state, I want you back on this show. And we'll discuss state. But you got to win. So if you don't win state, we're not letting you back on. So there's some motivation for you guys, because I just talking to you guys seem like a bunch of good guys and good kids, and I know at least one dad likes his kid. So
he tolerates it.
So once again, congratulations, guys. Follow them on Facebook. Is it the Vancleave Quarterback Club? Vancleave High School Quarterback Club.
We post a lot of our stuff, and a lot of times on Twitter, I think it's the Bulldog Way.
Okay.
A lot of times they'll post stuff about the success of the teams and kind of standings of different teams.
And everybody watching on Facebook Live, this was our first Facebook Live broadcast of this podcast. So thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. Make sure you like the page. We do this once a week. We're going to try to focus a little more on the local high school football or high school sports, period. No football going on right now. When we get to that point, we'll discuss my bad taste for Biloxi High football right now. Being a Biloxi High graduate and a former football player. But thank you guys. Good luck. Keep us posted. Coach, you can post on the Benchwarmer page any results or anything like that. I'll try to keep tabs. Having a full-time job and 2 of these podcasts going, it's hard to keep tabs on everything. But thank you to the Jackson County School District for allowing you guys to come in. Thank you for bringing them in, and we wish you all the best.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.